Yo, what is up? So I got the best undrafted free agent signings for each team. I'll just go through all the free agents, kind of point out the notable players that they got, if they got any, because some teams didn't really get anybody. But yeah, we'll see. So the first team's Cardinals. Yeah, only really notable player, Ronnie Rivers, running back Fresno State, was a decent player. He could make the roster. I would not be surprised. Probably be a good special teamer also because he's got pretty good return ability. But there's nothing really else to his game. They've already kind of got their two running backs because they drafted Keontae Ingram this year, so I don't really see anything with that. And they didn't really get anybody else for the rest of the picks that kind of stand out. Maybe like Daryl Baker on like small school player. And then the Falcons, yeah, they got a few players. Of course, Tyler Vrabel, Mike Vrabel's son, of course, goes there. He wasn't a really good player at Boston College. Could be a decent backup if he does make the roster. I was kind of just surprised that he didn't go to the Titans just because Dad's there. Timothy Horn, kind of just a decent big defensive tackle, nothing special. Keon Deng, yeah, I think he has a good chance to make the roster. Would not be surprised if that even just has like a special teamer, but also needs some more depth at the linebacker and like edge rush position. Nathan Landman wasn't really aware of him. We'll see if he makes the roster. Brad Hawkins, though, is a decent player at Michigan. Just kind of an older prospect. I think he's going to be like 25. But I mean, with their current safety group, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes the roster. He's a pretty smart player, and also very experienced. Stanley Berryhill and Jared Bernhardt. I think one of these dudes could definitely make the roster. Probably Stanley Berryhill, who's a decent player at Arizona. Baltimore Ravens got Anthony Brown. Interesting. He wasn't a good quarterback at Oregon. I doubt he even makes the roster. Just I guess they're trying to just get another athlete. That seems to be what they kind of like at quarterback. Slade Bolden, decent receiver from Alabama. Good route runner. But that's kind of it to his game. But they do need receivers, so he does have a chance. Shamar Bridge is a decent player. They got quite a lot of receivers. Makai Polk, kind of more big body receiver, jump ball player. So he has a chance. Same with Devin Williams. All these dudes are probably going to compete for a roster spot. Wouldn't be surprised if any of them. Wouldn't be surprised if one of them make it or a couple. Jeremiah Moon out of Florida. I thought he had a good chance of getting drafted, so that was a good pick up for outside linebacker. I think he's a good fit. Zakoby McClain and Joshua Ross at linebacker. Yeah, that's decent also. They can kind of compete for a roster spot. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them make it because they're both pretty good at Auburn. Nobody really else. I mean, Denzel Williams, decent corner from Villanova. He has a chance to compete for a practice squad or roster. Bills, no one notable. I'll check on here because I got the ones with all of them. I think I passed the Bills. Yeah, Bills. Jalen Watermeyer, yeah, that's a pretty good pickup. He was a very good tight end. I can't believe they didn't list that there. Yes, I think he has a good chance to make the roster. That was a good pickup. Panthers, Davis Cheek, Elon quarterback. Doubt he makes the roster. It's very slim chance. Anybody else really standing out? Charleston Rambo, that's a pretty good pickup. Decent player from Miami, looked good at the East-West Shrine Bowl also. Marquand McCall also, a really big defensive tackle. Could be a decent nose tackle in the league. Wouldn't be surprised if he makes the practice squad or the main roster as a run defending defensive tackle because that's what he's pretty good at. So, yeah, nothing really else standing out. Bears, Master Teague, yeah, he was kind of seen before this year that he could go much higher and actually get drafted. He's a good all-round running back. I don't think he has a good chance of making the roster, though, just because they kind of got already players that at that running back position, they don't really have a need. Landon Lenore's all right receiver. Chase Allen, tight end, Ohio State. Yes, a bit surprised he didn't get drafted. I thought he could have got drafted. He was a pretty good player at Iowa State. He definitely has a good chance to make the roster, even with all the tight ends that they like. Yeah, Jack Sanborn, linebacker, Wisconsin. Really surprised he didn't get drafted. I thought Jack Sanborn would definitely get drafted. I think he has a really good chance to make the team. Was a really solid linebacker at Wisconsin, just good all round player, really smart dude who kind of was the leader of that defense. Kind of made all the switches and stuff and got everybody set. So I thought that was a really good pick. Ali Green's also a good cornerback pickup. Caldomitis, yeah, they got a long snapper. Why not? They don't really need anything else, and then just Shamari Jones. I'm just going to check quickly if they actually did get anybody else. Who am I looking for? The Bengals. Am I looking? Should not be in the B then. Yeah, Javion Hiley is actually pretty good. He was a very good receiver at Coastal Carolina, so he has a chance to compete for a roster spot. That's actually a pretty decent pickup. I thought he had a good chance of getting drafted. Browns, Felix Harper, Alcorn State. Yeah, nothing really special about that. Same thing with Glenn Logan. They got Isaiah Weston though. Yeah, Isaiah Weston. I thought he was going to get drafted. He was a kind of a combine standout. Looked like a really good player. There had an amazing workout. So I thought just based off of that he would have got drafted, but he didn't. So I think he could definitely make the roster for the Browns. Cowboys, Dontario Drummond, yeah, that's a good pickup. He didn't really run a lot of deep routes. It was very short stuff, screens, and yeah, kind of plays just to get the ball in his hand because he's pretty good after the catch. So I mean, I could see the Cowboys using him like that if he does make the roster. They also got Ty Frogel, who's also another good receiver pickup. Just two dudes to compete at the receiver position. He's more of a bigger receiver, Ty Frogel. Both of them not really super fast, but yeah, alright players. Jakari Robinson, also pretty decent receiver. Peyton Hendershot, Indiana tight end. Yeah, he definitely has a chance to compete. He's not a bad tight end. Pretty good pickup. Same with Alex Lindstrom. I thought Alex Lindstrom would definitely get drafted. That is one of the best interior players in this whole class. So, I mean, him not getting drafted, bit of a surprise. Big Cat Bryant, just got a cool name. That's kind of it. I doubt he makes the roster. Aaron Hansford, yeah, okay linebacker. Isaac Taylor Stewart actually is a good pickup for corner. He has a chance to compete for a roster spot. Same with Marquise Bell, from small school, Florida A&M. Look, just take a shot on a dude playing lower competition. I don't mind it. Just kind of dominating that competition. Same with Juan Thomas out of Georgia Tech. He was the better of the Georgia Tech safeties, and he didn't even get drafted, and the other one did. So I think that's a good pickup. Broncos, they don't have anybody listed, and the Lions have hardly anybody, so I'll check them. Broncos. Yeah, Jaquan McMillan's a decent corner. Christopher Allen, actually, that's a good pickup, just due to kind of suffered with injuries at Alabama that kind of kept him off the field. So who knows what he could have been if he didn't get injured. So I think that's a very good pickup because I mean he could actually turn out to be a good player. He just didn't get to play a lot because of injuries. And the Lions, A B C D. Where's the line? Oh, L. QRS-TV. Bro, I just can't be bothered at this point. Lions, yes. Finally. Obina Eze, that's a good pickup for tackle. He has definitely got a chance to get a backup role. Josh Johnson, receiver. Yeah, Josh Johnson was a pretty good receiver. So that's a good pickup to compete in that receiver group. Yeah, nobody really else. Packers. Tyler Goodson's a good draft pick. Kind of more, not draft pick, undrafted pickup. Receiving running back. Kind of don't really need any more running backs, so probably just be a special teamer or practice squatter if he even makes a team. Um, yeah, they got a couple more dudes. Ellis Brooks, all right, linebacker from Penn State. Yeah, nothing really else standing out. Texans, I don't know why they don't list for some of these teams. Nobody. Gotta go down a bit. Come on, Texans. Texans. Colby Harvey Peel, yeah, just had a very down year. That's kind of why he didn't get drafted. But yeah, I mean, he's had really good play in the past, so I don't mind that as a pickup. John Johnson also, two Johnnies, don't mind it. All right, pickup. Jake Hansen, nothing special. Yeah, they got some all right players. Oh, they got uh, the other McCollum's brother, Tristan McCollum. So that's pretty fun. And then the Colts, Jack Cohn, probably just be a practice squad player, but pretty smart quarterback. Ryan Van Denmark, though, that's a really good undrafted pickup. He has definitely got a good chance to get a roster spot. I swear they got somebody else. Yeah, C is going to be near the top. I might have just passed it because now everything's gone. No, okay. Colts. CJ Verdell. Yeah. Forrest Ryan. Those are two good pickups. I swear they got... Am I just missing him? I guess not. Okay, I thought they got somebody else. Just can't remember his name. EJ Perry from Brown. Yeah, he initially was going to the Eagles, but then they got Carson Strong, so then decides to go to Jacksonville. I don't mind taking a shot at him. Could be a decent backup quarterback. Kevin Austin, I thought he'd get drafted. Yeah, just again with kind of injuries, wasn't able to play. So, but when he did play, he looked like a really good receiver, and then had an amazing combine. So I'd take a shot on that any day to hopefully get some weapons for Carson. I was about to say Carson Wentz. Jesus, I don't know why that popped into my head. Trevor Lawrence. Josh Thompson, cornerback from Texas. That's a good pickup. I thought he could have been the only player from Texas drafted, but he wasn't. Chiefs, Dustin Crum. Yeah, I don't see anything with that. Probably just going to be a practice squatter. Smart quarterback. Just has a really weak arm. Jaron Ely. All right pickups. Kind of same thing with Tayon Fleet Davis. They're both decent running backs, so maybe one of them competes for a roster spot. Justin Ross. Yeah, I'd take a shot on Justin Ross any day. You hope that if the injuries don't become a problem, then you could have an absolute steal of receiver that was once considered as a lock to go in the first round someday. So that's a really good pickup. Mike Rose, yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get drafted. He's really good linebacker from Iowa State. Bigger linebacker, like he's very tall, but he was a really good player. So I think he could. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes the roster. Raiders, Chase Garbers, quarterback. Yeah, nothing special about that. And was really impressed by him. Sam Webb, yeah, small school corner, pretty speedy, athletic player. I like it. And then the Chargers, Letty Brown, West Virginia running back. Yeah, decent player. They did draft the running backs. I don't know if he makes the roster. Has a chance. Anybody else who's standing out? No, don't really see anybody else. Yeah, nothing special, but they're a very deep roster. They don't really need a bunch of pickups. Yeah, the Rams. They got quite a lot of dudes. Jack Snyder, guard, San Jose State. Wouldn't be surprised if he makes the roster. They kind of need some more guards for that as depth players. Holy Cross linebacker. All right. Jake Hummel, the paired Mike Rose dude who's next to Mike Rose, so I don't mind that. Caesar Dancy Williams, yeah, he's a pretty decent corner, so um, thought that was a good pickup. Cameron Dicker, punter, yeah, maybe Johnny Hecker's replacement because he is out of there. The Dolphins, the Quandre Wright and Kellen Deesh were two of the best undrafted pickups out of the whole class. Those are two very good players to be getting undrafted. So they did a good job with that. Like Kellen Deesh, I think he probably makes the roster. He's just a very good tackle at Arizona State. I was really surprised he didn't get drafted. And Zaquandre Wright also, I think he could be a good third running back. Jesus. The Vikings, Trey Turner, yeah. Uh, Definitely take a shot on Trey Turner. That's a good pickup. Anybody else? Ryan Wright, Tulane punter. Maybe. Nothing else though. The Patriots, Derek King. Yeah, that was very interesting pickup, Derek King. Probably not going to play actual quarterback in the NFL. He just isn't a good quarterback. This is literally just a gadget player. So I don't see him playing that in the league. But if they can find the role for him, like moving him to running back or receiver, he could be a pretty good player. Brandon Schooler, alright safety from Texas, their type of players. And then the Saints, yeah, they're really good they picked up quite a lot of good players. Like Abraham Smith was surprised he didn't get drafted. Like his teammate got drafted over him, who is kind of more the receiving back. Abraham Smith was like the actual running back, not like a fast player. Abraham Smith, more of that power back, was very good at that and pretty inexperienced at the position and played very well because he was a linebacker before, which kind of shows when he is playing running back. But if you can teach him up, then could become a really good player. Rashid Shaheed, actually, I mean, I got on his radar after the draft, and damn, he's a good player. Probably the best returner in all of college football, but tore his ACL, which, yeah, if he was able to play, I think he could have got drafted. Actually got drafted just because he's that good of a returner and looked like a pretty good receiver also, but was playing lower level competitions. So yeah, Dejon Dixon, I thought he had a good chance to get drafted. Big receiver, decent route runner, just kind of a jump ball player, contested catcher. But I thought that was a really good pickup. Lucas Kroll also, yeah, okay, tight end. He had a chance to get a roster spot. Nephew Sewell, really good pickup, smaller linebacker. Could definitely see him converting to safety, but he does play very physical at linebacker position, which kind of makes up for his size, but really good athlete. And DeMarcus Fields and Vincent Gray, those were good cornerback pickups. Both productive corners in college. Smoke Monday, another player I was surprised not to get drafted. Thought he was a pretty decent safety from Auburn, so getting him undrafted, that's pretty nice. Jack Corner has a chance to compete, but they've got a pretty deep safety group now, so I mean I could see Smoke Monday making the roster, but probably just his practice squad or yeah, nothing really else. Giants, Jeremiah Hall, they list him as running back, but he was a fullback at Oklahoma, so couldn't make the roster as their fullback. And Darren Evans, whatever. Jets, Bam Knight at North Carolina State. Yeah, that's a decent pickup for the running back. I like that. Sean Abram, DQ Thomas, Middle Tennessee State, really athletic linebacker. And then the Eagles got Carson Strong. Yeah, definitely one of the best out of all the pickups. The only reason he didn't get drafted was because of his major injury concerns with his knee. So if that can if they can hopefully those things don't come about for him in the NFL, if that is a actual possibility that he'll be okay, then you've got a really good backup quarterback, and they gave him a lot of guaranteed money, so maybe they think that it won't be as bad. We'll have to see with that. Kennedy Brooks also, good running back from Oklahoma. He has a chance to get a roster spot. Josh Sills, O-lineman, that's alright. Yeah, Noah Ellis, Iowa. A bit surprised he didn't get drafted, just because he's a really good run defender. I think he could make the roster just based off of that, because he's amazing at stopping the run. Ali Fayed, yeah, undersized edge rusher. The list him at linebacker. He could convert just to full-time linebacker. Wouldn't be surprised, but was really productive edge rusher at Western Michigan. So that's at least something. He's got production. Mario Goodrich and Josh Jobe. Yeah, two experienced corners playing at high-level competition. Take a shot on that. Reed Blankenship also, Middle Tennessee State. I thought he had a good chance to get drafted. I think that's a good pickup. Steelers, Jalen Warren, running back. Yeah, that's okay. Oh, Jordan Tucker is actually was pretty decent tackle at North Carolina, even their offensive line struggled a lot. He kind of looked okay at some points. So at their weak offensive line, he has a chance to get a roster spot. Chris Steele and Bryce Watts, two decent defensive back pickups, versatile players. See if any of them make the roster. The Niners, Taylor Hawkins, San Diego State, decent safety. Leon O'Neal, yeah, that's a very good pickup at safety. Probably going to be a box safety or just linebacker. I don't think he'll be a replacement for the safety they lost in free agency, but could be a really good backup if he makes the roster. Jason Poe from Mercer, yeah, small school, but had a really good pro day that kind of got people on his radar. Then they went back, watched the tape, and he had some really good games against like Alabama and stuff. He held his own. So as a really athletic offensive lineman, and they kind of have a need in the interior, that's a very good pickup. And then probably one of the best pickups also, Donovan West, who I thought would... I was really surprised he didn't get drafted. I think he could start for them at center or guard, because I think he can play both positions at a pretty high level, and he's a very young player, so you can develop him quite a lot. So I thought that was a really good pickup. Levy Lewis, quarterback. Oof. Oh, they got Bubba Bolden. That's a pretty decent pickup. He was pretty highly regarded before kind of a pretty bad season with Miami. But I'll take a shot on Bubba Bolden. Pretty physical player also. He could make the roster. Jarrett Stearns to the Buccaneers. That's a really good pickup. And Devin Tompkins. They've taken two good receivers. Kind of gadget players also. Slot receivers are probably going to be, because they're both pretty small players. So, you could maybe find your slot receiver. I doubt it. I think they'll be decent backups. I definitely see one of them making the roster. And Olakunle Fatukasi, yeah, Lorenzo Fatukasi's brother, a good linebacker, don't mind that. Reggie Robinson, receiver, SMU, that's good for the Titans. He has a good chance to make the roster. Jaden Peavy also, he had a good chance of getting drafted, I thought, so picking up here, that's pretty good. David and I played edge rusher at Houston. Could probably play linebacker also, so see what they do with him if he makes the roster. And then the Commies, they took Cole Kelly. I'm acting like it was a draft. They picked up Cole Kelly, really big quarterback who's also a pretty decent athlete and got a really big arm. I like that. I think he could be a good backup quarterback. Armani Rogers, pretty interesting. He played quarterback at Ohio, and they switched him to tight end, and he's got a lot of upside, and they do a very good job at developing these former quarterback to tight end converts. So we'll see what happens there. Trey Walker, Idaho linebacker, yeah, could be decent, could turn out pretty well, and there's nobody really else standing out. So that's the undrafted free agents main signings. It's kind of the ones that stand out. Some teams have some really good picks. I think there's a good chance that a lot of these dudes make the roster or practice squads. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.